Now, what is the general concept of an offshore banking unit? Generally, offshore means outside India. Okay, offshore means what? Outside India. But since special economic zones are treated as a area outside India for business and trade purposes, any branch located in a special economic zone will also be treated as an offshore banking unit as per the definition given by the Reserve Bank of India. So don't get confused. Special economic zone are area in India only, but they are treated as outside India for tax and business purpose. For all other purpose, they will be treated as a territory in India only. Okay, since we have seen now in Mumbai there is a special economic zone which is known as SEEPS. It is an Andheri, it is a part of India only. But for business and tax purpose, it will be treated as outside India. Okay, this is one thing. So generally, offshore means what? Offshore means outside the country. So what will be an offshore bank? Offshore bank is a bank located outside the country of the residence of the depositor. If an Indian resident is depositing money in a Swiss bank, it will become an offshore bank, offshore banking transaction. Okay, because Swiss bank is located in country outside India and depositor is in India, so this will become an offshore banking transaction. Okay, so offshore bank means what? It is a bank which should be located outside the country. So India is the country of the depositor, residents of the depositor, and bank is there in the Swiss bank. So will become an offshore banking transaction or offshore banking. Now, what is the peculiarity of that offshore bank is that such bank will always be situated in low tax jurisdiction that will provide financial and legal advantages. Such areas are known as tax havens. So, there are various countries or islands which are known as tax haven, or if you want to use a technical term, it is known as notified jurisdictional area. Government of India through income tax act is empowered to declare certain countries as notified jurisdictional area, which is a tax haven. Means tax havens are those countries in which the tax rate are nil or very low. Such territories are known as notified jurisdictional area or tax haven. What are the other benefits of this area is that there will be greater privacy. There will be no information exchange agreement between government of India and such countries. Okay, there will be secrecy principle will be there. That's why all black monies etc. are stored in this notified jurisdictional area or territory. Okay, for example, Swiss bank, it is having a greater privacy as per the Swiss Banking Act. Okay, another advantage of these areas will be little or no taxation. Okay, then they will be having least regulation, and there will be local political and financial stability in these countries. Okay, such areas are known as tax haven or notified jurisdiction area. For more understanding, we will have a discussion what is tax haven, etc. See, a tax haven or an offshore financial center is a country or a jurisdiction that offers minimum tax liability to the foreign individuals and business. So tax havens or notified jurisdiction area are those countries or islands, you can say, basically, where the tax liability will be minimum. what is the criteria for a country or a island to become a tax haven is that it should have no tax or nominal tax should be there. There should be no exchange information should not be there with that countries, and there should be lack of transparency and no substantial business activity takes place. Okay, if such conditions are satisfied, that area or jurisdiction will become a tax haven. You can classify that as a tax haven. That is, there should be no tax in that country, or the tax rate should be very low, 5%, etc. Then there should be no effective exchange between that country and any other country. For example, India has entered into information exchange agreement with number of countries. Okay, you can get that tax information exchange agreements are there, double taxation avoidance agreement, etc. are there with many countries. So with these countries, India does not have a effective tax exchange information exchange agreement. So such country will become a tax haven, or there is no transparency in this country, and there will be no substantial activity in this country. Okay, so such kind of jurisdiction will become what, tax haven or notified jurisdictional area. See, which are the list is given. See which areas are tax haven in the Bermuda is a tax haven. Then Netherlands is a tax haven. This is a list given. See, Luxembourg, Cayman Islands, very important. See, no personal income tax, no capital gain tax, no payroll tax, no corporate tax, and the country does not withhold tax on foreign entities. See, there is no tax only here. So this is a very important, popular tax haven. Singapore. See, these are all tax havens. You can see. Let us come to the main tax haven, Mauritius. See, Switzerland is also tax haven. That's why we have seen that Swiss bank is the bank commonly used by big persons for holding their black money. Okay, Ireland is also a tax haven. Now, Mauritius is a very important tax haven from point of view of India. Why Mauritius is a very important, especially with respect to India, is that before 2017, India was having a double taxation avoidance agreement with Mauritius. Okay, now it is amended. So pre 2017, double taxation avoidance agreement with Mauritius and India was used as a very popular route for investing in India. We can say that double taxation avoidance agreement between India and Mauritius was most misused double taxation avoidance agreement for investing in India by foreign entities. Why? See, double taxation avoidance agreement is an agreement made by Indian government and respective foreign countries for taxing jurisdiction. Okay, if their countries residents earn any income in India, whether it will be taxable in India or in that their country. So it is a double taxation avoidance agreement because law says that you cannot tax the income two times. Okay, since in India we are having the residence and source based taxation, so any income which is earned in India will be taxable in India. Okay, similarly, other countries may also have such kind of law. So if a foreign person earns income in India, He will be taxable in India also, and he will be taxable in their country also. So to avoid such kind of double taxation, Indian government and many other countries are entered into mutual agreements among with themselves. So India is having a DTAA with almost all the countries, and India is also having a double taxation avoidance agreement with Mauritius also. But what before 2017, this agreement between India and Mauritius was mostly misused agreement. Why? Because Mauritius does not have a capital gain tax. Okay, in Mauritius, capital gain tax is exempt from shares. So capital gain, etc. All you know because you have done tax in the SY class. So in Mauritius, capital gain arising from transfer of share is exempt from tax. Now, in double taxation avoidance between India and Mauritius, there was a clause which said that any company which is coming to India through Mauritius, any company. So, suppose the US investor is there. Okay, if he want to invest in India, he will not directly come to India. He will first make a dummy company in Mauritius. See, that's why we said that this was a most misused double taxation avoidance agreement. US investor will first make a dummy investment in Mauritius, and this Mauritius sham company will invest in India. Very important thing is that this company in Mauritius will not have any business. It will not even have office also. Okay, main controlling companies in USA only for taking advantage of this double taxation avoidance agreement between India and Mauritius. What foreign investor used to do is that they first invest a company, form a company in Mauritius, and they will make investment in India. Suppose what happens, US company will have the shares in this Mauritius company. Okay, and this Mauritius company will have shares in the Indian company. Okay, now taxation avoidance agreement between India and Mauritius say that any capital gain tax which is arising from transfer of the share will not be taxable in India also. Okay, we are not going to that much detail. Just understand any capital gain which arises to this Mauritius investor from a transfer of shares will not be taxable in India also. And we know that Mauritius is having giving capital gain exemption to transfer of shares in their country. So now, because of this agreement, this US investor is taking the advantage because he is first made the investment in Mauritius, and in Mauritius, if at a later stage, if he wants to close the business in India, what he will do? He will have to sell the shares. So what he will do? He will sell the shares of the Mauritius company. Effectively, this company is not having any transaction. So two benefits he will get. Mauritius tax law says that capital gain on transfer of share is exempt in Mauritius, and double taxation avoidance agreement says that since we are entered into an agreement with Mauritius, we will not be taxing this capital gain. So now see how he has avoided the tax. If he would have directly come to India, US investor, then he would not have earned this benefit because there is no benefit given to USA and India. Only Mauritius, India was having an agreement with Mauritius, which was having this beneficial clause, which said that any capital gain which arises to Mauritius will be exempt in India also. Okay. Now, in 2017, India has amended this clause and removed that beneficial clause because many misuse foreign investors are misusing and avoiding tax in that. And one important case which was taken place was between Vodafone and Government of India. Okay, Vodafone and Government of India, a very big tax case had taken place in 2012, and in that also investment was made through Mauritius only. So now if an investor would have directly come to India, he would not have got this benefit of exemption in the capital gains. No, because India was having an agreement with Mauritius, what foreigners used to do, they first form a dummy company in Mauritius and they will come to India. So, so Indian government has in 2017 removed this benefit between Mauritius. So that's why if you will see most of the foreign investment in India came through Mauritius only. So if you want to see the FDI list, see Singapore and Mauritius are the two important investors in India. See, if you will see the list, see here all are top three: Singapore, Mauritius, Netherlands, and Cayman Islands. All are tax havens only. So investment is coming to India through this tax haven, notified jurisdictional area. Clear? So this is the use of tax havens basically for avoiding tax by making indirect investments. See, all these are tax havens. No? Just now we have seen Mauritius is a tax haven, Bermuda, Netherlands, Cayman Islands, Singapore is a tax haven. See. So top three investment in India, top four investors in India, if you will see, are from this tax haven only. Then we Cyprus is also there. See, this is also tax haven. Luxembourg, Virgin Islands, this is also tax haven. Okay, so if you will see the Mauritius in past, it was having the highest investment rate. See, if you will see, most investment came through Mauritius only. See. Why? Because of this beneficial clause which was given. A company found in Mauritius will not have any existence also. It is just a sham company for taking the benefits between agreement between India and Mauritius. Okay. So Singapore, all these investments which come to India is through tax havens only. So that's why this is a concept of tax haven. So any banking unit which is located outside the country and if it is located in a tax haven area or notified jurisdictional area, it will become a tax haven. And in India, investment mostly came through Mauritius only because of the beneficial clause which was between the Indian government and government of Mauritius. Just now we will see one more thing we will discuss, then we will end for today. What is an offshore bank account? See, it is simple. It is a bank account opened outside the country of residence of account holder. Suppose if an Indian account holder is opening a bank in Cayman Islands, which is a tax haven, then it will become an offshore bank account. Okay, Indian resident opening an account in Cayman Islands Bank, it will become a offshore bank account. And offshore bank accounts are opened in jurisdiction with low or close to zero tax. Just now we have seen there is a list of countries where there is no tax. Okay, so such kind of jurisdiction are known as tax haven or notified jurisdictional area. And in addition to tax benefit, what other benefit they will provide? They will provide legal, financial advantage like privacy, because there is no exchange, information exchange agreement is there no, between India and such countries. So that benefit also they can get in addition to the tax benefits. And they will provide stability, protection of the assets and income. So such accounts are will become a offshore bank account. Okay, everybody clear this much? For today, we are stopping here only. Further, we will continue in the next class.